Long ago, in the green and misty hills of Ireland, people spoke with more than just words. They carved their stories, their names, and their deepest beliefs into stone. These carvings were not just simple marks. They were a secret language, a sacred script known as Ogham. The Ogham stones still stand today, silent but full of meaning, waiting for those who can read their messages. The Ogham script is made of straight lines, cut into the edges of standing stones. Each group of lines stands for a letter, and together they spell out names or short phrases. But these carvings are more than just writing. They are symbols, doorways into the world of ancient Ireland, where trees were sacred, and the land itself was alive with spirits. The stones were often placed on borders, marking the edges of kingdoms or sacred spaces. Some say they were like signposts for travelers, guiding them through the wild and untamed land. Others believe they were memorials, carved to honor the dead. But the truest meaning is deeper. The Ogham stones were a bridge between the seen and unseen worlds, a way for the people to speak to the gods and the ancestors. Each letter in the Ogham alphabet is named after a tree or plant. The Druids, the wise men of the Celts, believed that trees held great power. The oak was strong and wise. The birch was pure and new. The yew was the tree of death and rebirth. When a name was carved in Ogham, it was not just a name. It carried the spirit of the tree it was linked to. A warrior's name carved with the oak would call upon the oak's strength. A healer's name carved with the birch would bring cleansing and renewal. Some stones tell of kings and heroes, their deeds remembered in stone. Others whisper of forgotten battles or lost loves. But not all Ogham stones speak of the past. Some were carved as curses, strong words meant to bring harm to an enemy. Others were blessings, asking protection from the gods. The words were not just said, they were carved, fixed in stone, so their power would last forever. One famous stone stands in County Kerry, known as the Coolmagort Stone. It bears the name of a man called Ogham, and beside his name are symbols of the ash tree. The ash was a tree of balance, linking the heavens and the earth. Was Ogham a king? A warrior? A priest? We do not know, but his name remains tied to the ash, calling upon its power long after his voice has faded from the world. Another stone, found in Scotland, tells a different tale. It speaks of a woman named Netacari. Her name is linked to the vine, a plant of connection and growth. Was she a weaver of stories, a binder of fates? The stone does not say. But the vine's presence suggests a life intertwined with others, a spirit that reached out like the twisting branches of the plant itself. The Ogham stones were not meant for everyone. Only those trained in the old ways could read them. The Druids guarded their secrets well. When Christianity came to Ireland, the old beliefs faded, but the stones remained. Monks sometimes copied the Ogham script into their books, curious about the ancient writing. But the true meaning was lost, buried under new faiths and new tongues. Today, Shalas can read the letters, but the deeper magic is harder to find. The stones still stand, weathered by time, their carvings growing faint. Yet if you listen, if you place your hand on the cold stone and close your eyes, you might hear the whisper of the past, the wind through the trees, the chant of a druid, the voice of a king long gone. The Ogham stones are more than history. They are a reminder that words have power, that names carry meaning, and that even in silence, the past speaks. They tell us that the land remembers, even when people forget. And if we learn to listen, we might hear the stories they have kept for centuries, waiting in the stone. So the next time you walk the hills of Ireland, look for the standing stones. Run your fingers along their edges. You may not read the Ogham script, but you can feel it. The echo of a time when the world was full of magic, when trees had voices and stones could speak.